Power BI Dashboard Development, Process, Best Practices, and Pricing Guide. Power BI Dashboard Development, Process, Best Practices, and Pricing Guide. That's what we're tackling today. If you've been wondering about Power BI Dashboard Development, stick around. Let's talk about what is Power BI Dashboard Development. Power BI Dashboard Development is the end-to-end process of connecting business data sources to a reporting layer that gives decision-makers accurate, timely visibility into the metrics that drive decisions. It goes well beyond building charts. It involves data modeling, semantic layer design, access control, deployment pipelines, and ongoing governance. For companies already running Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, or Azure SQL, Power BI is the practical default, not just because of licensing but because of native connector depth. According to Microsoft's Power BI documentation, it integrates directly with the broader Power Platform suite, meaning dashboards can trigger Power Automate flows, embed in Power Apps, and draw from a shared dataverse data layer without additional middleware. Tableau requires extra connectors for many of these integrations, and enterprise licensing costs are substantially higher. The honest answer: if your data mostly lives in Microsoft services, Power BI wins on integration depth and total cost. If your primary warehouse is Snowflake and your CRM is Salesforce, Tableau's connector story may justify the premium. Next up, the Power BI dashboard development process, from requirements to deployment. Most failed BI projects collapse here. Before any visual gets built, you need to know where data lives, who owns it, how often it updates, and what decisions it actually needs to support. Stakeholder interviews should focus on decisions being made, not reports being requested. A sales director asking for a pipeline dashboard really wants to know which deals are at risk this quarter. Source mapping surfaces complexity. Organizations with mixed ERP systems, Dynamics 365 data in Dataverse, and operational data in Azure SQL often discover their three supposedly straightforward sources need a staging layer to resolve naming conflicts and time zone discrepancies. Power Platform ALM practices, specifically separate development, test, and production environments, need to be established at this stage. Retrofitting environment governance post-launch costs more in rework than setting it up properly at the start. The semantic layer is where most of the real work happens. A clean star schema with proper relationships and reusable DAX measures is the difference between a dashboard that performs at 10 million rows and one that times out at 500,000. Let's talk about next up, Power BI Dashboard Best Practices. Accuracy is table stakes. Dashboards that change behavior do a few things differently. Each report page answers one business question. When users face 15 charts on a single page, they typically export to Excel, and the dashboard investment never delivers its value. Bookmarks for common filter states, metric definitions on a glossary page, and consistent navigation patterns reduce cognitive load for daily users. Citizen developer governance applies at the design stage too. When business users build reports on top of a certified semantic model, design guardrails such as approved visual types and publishing gates prevent unofficial dashboards from circulating in email attachments. The Power Platform Governance Framework, the 6 pillars every enterprise needs, covers how these guardrails fit into a broader governance structure. For Dynamics 365 deployments, Power BI connects to Dataverse via a native connector supporting role-level security inherited from Dataverse security roles. The integration story is clean, but the data model design is rarely obvious. Dataverse uses GUID-based relationships that don't map directly to a star schema without a transformation layer. Let's talk about now how Power Platform Governance protects your BI investment. Power Platform Governance is the set of policies and structures that prevent your BI investment from turning into a data chaos problem over time. Without it, you accumulate undocumented semantic models, duplicate dashboards pulling from conflicting sources, and no clear owner when numbers disagree in front of senior leadership. A Power Platform Center of Excellence is the governance structure that coordinates how Power Platform tools including Power BI are built, deployed, and maintained across an organization. Q Services implements Power Platform Center of Excellence using Microsoft's COE Starter Kit as the baseline, customized for each client's environment strategy and risk profile. The COE manages 4 domains: environment governance, connector policy, maker support, and usage monitoring. For a full walkthrough, see our guide on the Power Platform Center of Excellence, How to build and run one in 5 phases. Let's talk about moving on to Power Apps Development Services, what to build alongside Power BI. Power BI dashboards show what's happening. Power Apps let users act on what they see without leaving the Microsoft environment. Organizations running Dataverse or Dynamics 365 often find a purpose-built app reduces the friction between reading a data point and doing something about it. Power Apps Canvas versus model-driven is the first real architectural decision in any custom Power Apps development engagement. It shapes build complexity, maintenance burden, and extensibility in ways that are hard to reverse mid-project. Canvas apps give pixel-level UI control and connect to any Power Platform data source. They're faster to prototype, especially for mobile. The trade-off: they don't inherit Dataverse's built-in security model, and without design standards they become unmaintainable as they grow. Next up, moving on to Power Automate Consulting, connecting dashboards to business workflows. Power Automate Consulting sits at the intersection of BI and operations. A dashboard showing high invoice processing time is more useful when clicking a slow processing vendor triggers an automated follow-up. That level of integration requires expertise in both the data model and process design, which is why Power Automate Consulting and Power BI dashboard development are frequently scoped together. The most practical Power Automate workflow examples for BI-connected processes include: these flows make dashboards actionable by closing the loop between insight and response. Let's talk about next up: what does Power BI dashboard development cost? Cost is the question most organizations ask first, and it's genuinely hard to answer without context. Power BI dashboard development costs depend on data source complexity, the number of integrated systems, governance requirements, and whether you're building one operational dashboard or a full enterprise reporting program. Power BI consulting services are typically scoped on time and materials or fixed price contracts. The factors that drive cost most significantly. For a focused engagement, Power BI consulting services for a mid-market organization typically range from $8,000 to $15,000 for 3 to 5 report pages with 1 or 2 data sources. An enterprise program with certified semantic models, multiple workspaces, and COE implementation typically runs $40,000 to $80,000 or more. Now, next up, choosing a Power Platform development company. The Microsoft partner ecosystem is large and quality varies widely. A Power Platform development company that excels at Canvas app development may not have the data modeling depth for enterprise-grade Power BI dashboard development. Ask specifically about experience with your data sources, your industry's data volume, and your compliance requirements. Before engaging any partner for Power BI dashboard development, ask. A credible partner answers questions 2 and 4 without hesitation. If governance is positioned as an optional add-on, expect technical debt that costs more to fix than it would have to prevent upfront. Let's talk about now. Conclusion. Power BI dashboard development done well is not just a reporting project. It's the foundation for how your organization reads and acts on its own data. Getting the semantic layer right, building governance structures that survive staff turnover, and connecting dashboards to automated workflows through Power Automate Consulting and Power Apps are what turn a one-time delivery into a long-term analytics capability. If you're evaluating Power BI consulting services or scoping an enterprise BI engagement, the governance and process questions matter as much as the technical specification. How will environments be managed? Who certifies semantic models? What happens when citizen developer governance breaks down? Q Services works with mid-market and enterprise Microsoft organizations on Power Platform development from initial scoping through to COE establishment. Talk to our team about what a structured Power BI dashboard development engagement looks like for your organization.